You get spanked.
So we went out to see Captain Marvel. I'm going to go ahead and spoil it right now and say it's 4 out of 13 stars. That was a horrible, horrible movie.
I got to disagree there. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it again.
See what I'm dealing with? 4 out of 13 stars. How come nobody ever dies in a plane crash or a spaceship crash?
Because plot lines?
Because plot? So irritating.
What?
There's like 4 crashes.
Some high velocity crashes. And most of the fuselage is intact.
It's ridiculous.
Typically, if you've ever watched NASCAR, they break down the physics of crashes. If the car blows up and just disintegrates into pieces, the driver's going to be okay. But if the car remains solid, the driver is what's taking most of that impact force. Yeah. So by those physics, all those plane crashes in this movie, these people should be foobarred.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just irritating. It's like there's like 4 crashes in that movie and nobody died.
Nobody died.
It's unbelievable.
Nobody was even seriously injured. They all like shook it off. It was like, oh, that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, and apparently like Kree Technology is like super user friendly because apparently anybody could pick up their weapons and use them. Anybody could just this is really simple to use. Well, or even fly their craft.
You got to think about it. They've conquered over 100 some planets. So they try to make their technology simple enough to where those who they've incorporated as their puppets on all these different worlds and all these different races, they could all use it and understand it. So that kind of makes sense.
I don't think that's how the Kree roll, though.
I'm trying to help.
You're not helping. You're not going to save this movie, buddy. I know you. Oh, I like it.
I do like it.
Too positive. Yeah, Captain Marvel's OP.
Well, that's the way they created her. My problem with her overpoweredness is after a certain event happens, which I'm not going to spoil because we're not going to full spoiler mode, are we?
Nah.
Okay. After a certain event happens, where she was unaware of her full potential, immediately knows all of her powers and how to immediately use them.
Yeah. Like she's been trained in it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she's OP.
That's the only thing that bothered me with her OP-ness.
Oh,
God. OP-ness. Phrasing?
Where is it?
Phrasing!
There we go. Yeah. A lot of people were saying like this is going to be like a girl power video. I'm thinking in YouTube terms. Well, Madman lowercase on YouTube. Find me.
Well, considering that a good portion of the movie could have been used as a music video to "I'm Just a Girl" by No Doubt, which the song played in its entirety in the movie.
I know.
Then yeah, you could say video.
Well, it's such an unnecessary. I'm just a girl. It has nothing to do with what was happening. It was like the last fight scene, right?
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with anything. That song had nothing to do with what was going on. It was just like, let's shove more 90s songs in here. However, I do love Celebrity Skin. I do think that's the best song Hole ever did. And that was that was the credits song that came on. Make me of. I love that song. I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know Tom, like after the movie, is like, I know Sky hated the soundtrack. I know he hated it. And it was like, yeah, particularly at the Nirvana song. But, there's a lot of music from the 90s that I did like, and No Doubt is one of those bands I like. And Hole, I actually like way better than Nirvana, especially when I found out that Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain. She's my hero now. After I found that out, I was like, oh, I love you. You are the best thing that happened to grunge music.
Are you sure that she killed Kurt Cobain?
I don't care. If it's rumored that she might have, it was like, she's my hero.
Okay, fair enough.
She did wonderful things for the world of music by putting a shotgun in that guy's mouth and pulling the trigger.
Wow.
Then writing a rant about Freddie Mercury. Because you think, anyway.
In that order.
Probably. I know that the Kree are dicks. That's the way they've always been in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And they're portrayed that way. And accurately, I felt in the movie. The Krees being kind of dicks.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. However, the Skrulls are also kind of dicks. But they kind of got portrayed, lumped into this. It's like, oh, we're this oppressed race being chased out of the galaxy by the Kree. And no, it's not like that. They're not like these friendly Australian. Some of them are Australian or something.
They had gained that accent.
That's weird, And so, I mean, I guess, just lived here long enough, you pick up your first dialect. Do you think that's what happens? Like, if you're an alien, you come to the planet, you learn that language, and you come, I landed in London. except
that would make sense
more
if that's
convincing,
the way you learn the language.
Yeah.
But, I know the Kree have universal language translators.
That's right, they do.
But I don't know if the Skrulls do or not, because they never
Well, is there a
reference if they did
feature
or
in
not.
their translator on their things, like Australian accent, British accent, Indian accent? I don't know.
Maybe that's just when they programmed their...
The things on the wrist seem to do every goddamn thing there in the
Yeah.
world.
Change the color of their outfits.
Yeah. What a wonderful feature in a military spacesuit.
Yeah, that's right. It is a military suit. So why would they
Incorporate the color feature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm changing my allegiance.
Yeah, and apparently a little girl from Earth can figure out their equivalent of GIMP software immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. Oh, here's the palette section. Oh, let's just switch around. So do randomize.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a lot longer than that to do any type of graphics editing with software designed by humans.
For us. Designed for us.
In our language. How did she understand any of what was going on there?
Just playing with her fingers on the... That works, I guess.
I guess.
So, most of all, it's like, why did they need a Lightspeed engine?
I don't know.
They're already jumping all over the galaxy.
They've got
I guess the only thing...
technology, why Lightspeed is not going to help in that.
The only thing I can think of is because they're leaving one galaxy to another, our galaxy to another galaxy, is that they don't have jump points at this other galaxy to jump to. That being said, you need to explain that technology, Mar-Vell, and why there's a difference between the jump points or gates, and why Lightspeed is needed.
That still doesn't make any sense. Because
I agree.
The distance between galaxies at
so
light
vast
speed it would take hundreds
of generations,
millions of years to reach.
Hundreds of generations.
I mean, no. The only other
silly.
thing I can come up with is because this is a Disney movie. They need to learn how to make Lightspeed engines so they can have their kamikaze pilots fly their fighters into the large battleships at light speed.
Is that a Last Jedi reference?
Yes.
Oh, man. There's two good moments in that movie, and it was that scene and the fight at the end with Kylo Ren and Rey.
Yeah.
That was, only redeeming qualities of those movies, of those two scenes.
Yeah.
I don't know, Leia with her cool new force power, that was kind of awesome.
It was cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people were bitching about that scene, but, I liked how it trolled me.
Yeah,
personally.
it trolled everybody, man.
Because
Nobody saw that coming.
I thought that was the moment where they were going to
write her out of the script.
Right, because the actress had passed away. I was like, well, this is how they kill her. I had to just, wow, right in the What? No, wow, okay.
Disney, you got me good that time.
Oh, you got me good.
You got me good. Yeah, so... I don't want to go off too much on a rant because I got to save some of it for tomorrow.
Yeah, for Lost in the Long Box.
For Lost in the Long Box, that's tomorrow. 5? What time?
I don't know.
6:30.
It's your show. Shouldn't you know?
I'm just a producer, all right? But I do need to know when I need to be here. So, 6:30. 6:30 on Wednesdays is Lost in the Long Box.
Is that why sometimes those guys are here wondering, where's Madman at?
Exactly.
I don't know when my show starts.
So he doesn't care about time.
He's still working on Lightspeed engines. He hasn't figured out the jump points yet.
Exactly. I do want to say one good thing about the Captain Marvel movie.
What's that?
A Stan Lee tribute.
Oh, absolutely.
At the beginning, they had the Marvel Studios logo thing, and I was all ready to get all CinemaSins on it and time it, but I couldn't. I had my phone out and I was ready to time it so I could say, 54 seconds of this logo.
Right.
I couldn't time it because I was just so enchanted with all these clips of Stan Lee and Stan Lee cameos that they did, in honor of him.
Yeah.
And
you'd have missed something special if you'd have taken the time to look down at your phone.
Yeah. And it was wonderfully done.
Yes.
And when it finished, the whole auditorium exploded in applause.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you for all of you've done. Hope you're resting well.
And like in our theater, as I'm probably sure in every theater across the country where that
I
when
bet
that
that
movie
same
played,
thing happened.
somebody in the crowd yelled, "Excelsior!"
Exactly.
There's one other thing about this movie I would like to touch upon. As I was working and grouting the bathroom, and I just let YouTube do its thing, and it started going into Captain Marvel reviews. And apparently there was some sort of weird thing that happened on Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah.
where the original user rating was like 33% or something like that. And then,
a bunch of trolls.
yeah, supposedly a bunch of trolls. Oh, so
It's probably just a bunch of people accurately reviewing the movie.
it could be. So Rotten Tomatoes goes in and deletes all those reviews.
Ain't that fucked up?
That's a little weird,
That's
man.
Twitter fucked up.
Yeah. That's just wow.
Did you see that Tim Pool, Joe Rogan experience where they talked to the Twitter execs? Oh, that was so good.
No, I have not seen that.
Oh. Everyone's been talking about that in the news and so forth. I mean, Tim Pool kicked ass. Yeah, I told you I like him. He's a liberal I like. Anyway.
The one.
I like a lot of liberals.
For breakfast?
For breakfast. I have one more thing to talk about. Is that the Stan Lee cameo? It kind of bothered me at first until I read more into it. But reading more into it by like reading internet about it. And that was the Stan Lee cameo when he was on the bus when she was looking for the scroll. He's sitting there going over this line. He's reading this book, which is actually a script.
Right.
All right, and he's saying this line over and over again. Trust me, true believer. Trust me, true believer. And it's just this one clip they had from a movie in 1995 called Mallrats. And that was the name of the script that Stan was reading on the bus, practicing for his cameo in the Mallrats.
So in his cameo,
movie.
he's preparing for a cameo.
Exactly.
So does that count as two
It's
cameos?
meta. It's so meta. And I know if Stan was here, he would love that one too.
Yeah.
And I know one thing. It's like I know Kevin Smith was stoked because as soon as I realized that was Kevin Smith, he was reading Mallrats by Kevin Smith. I was like, what's Kevin Smith on Captain Mar-Vell? And boom, there's a video. He's just geeking out over it.
Oh, I bet.
They referenced me. They've heard of me. That was his attitude. It was like, they heard of me over there at Marvel Studios.
The moment I had in Danny's Pizza and Subs, where the worker there recognized me, that's what Kevin Smith had, but on a much more global scale.
Yeah, very different scale. Anyway, so that's all I wanted to ruin about Captain Marvel. Until tomorrow.
Aye.
Aye. So, thank you, servicemen. Hug your servicemen. You don't have to hug me. I'm not really a veteran. I mean, I had coffee every morning. Like a cappuccino. I had a choice between coffee, cappuccino, and espresso every morning. Hey, what's up, buddy? Are we done with our show? We're done with our show. Oh, the boss is coming in.
Yep.
He's telling us we got to end our show. You want to come over here and say goodbye to everybody? Come here.
Bye, everybody.
Wave at the camera. Up there. Wave it there. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Anyway, that's little EK. I'm the madman, and I love you. Who are you?
I'm the Hill Hippie, wishing you all peace and love.
Bye. We'll catch you next time. Let's see if I figure out this computer.
You wait.